Hey yo, what's poppin' everybody? It's your boy C Double G, and oh my god, 110,000 experience. Yes, sir. In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to level up super quickly and get a ton of experience in order to progress your game as fast as possible. So that way you can make the most out of the time that you get to actually play from all these queues and disconnects. So the first thing you're going to do is do as much of the main story quest as humanly possible until it becomes way too difficult for you. Don't worry about how much underpowered that it says you are. I was doing things 700 underpower comfortably. Once I got to the 900 to 1000 underpowered, that's when it became too difficult. So that's when I had to go back to level up. The reason you want to unlock as many of those main story expeditions and bosses as possible is because when you open up your quest log, you're going to do these priority quests. All the priority quests are asking you to do is the same expeditions and bosses, just at a higher difficulty. For example, this quest wants me to defeat the Dread Legion on Sphere 2 with 1 active imbuement, which is a boss fight. Now, I suggest doing the boss fights only if you're trying to go as fast as possible to level 30, because with the expeditions, the requirement is to get max arc light, which is that purple bar that you see at the top of your expeditions. You get that by opening chests and doing events, killing enemies, etc. But if you die and have to respawn, it takes progress away to the point where sometimes you can't get max arc light. So if you're struggling with living and stuff like that, it takes a lot longer to do, especially if you fail. It's important to note that the earlier the expeditions and the earlier the boss, the less experience you'll get, but it starts to ramp up significantly the further down the line you go. For example, the very first boss in the game, which is the Broodmother, gave me 2.3k experience for doing the Sphere 2 with 1 imbuement. Then I did Sphere 3 with 2 imbuments, and it gave me 3.8k experience. And when I did Argent Hand on Sphere 3 with 2 imbuments, I ended up getting 11.5k experience. So it starts to ramp up, especially to get you through the story. Now, before we talk about how I got the 100k experience that you saw in the beginning of this video, let me go over the imbuments real quick that you should be using in order to make your day a little bit easier when going back and doing these pit bosses. So whenever you first do a boss or expedition, you always start at Sphere 1, you do it, and then you'll unlock Sphere 2. In order to do the first priority quests for each boss or expedition, you need to do 1 imbuement. I suggest always going greed, because it just puts gold on the ground. The more gold you grab, the more damage that enemies deal to you. Just don't pick up any gold and the enemies won't do anything. So it'll be like there's no imbuement on whatsoever, and it won't make the activity harder for you at all. So after beating the Sphere 2, it'll unlock Sphere 3, and now you have to do Sphere 3 with 2 imbuments. I like using Greed and Shadow, especially for boss fights, because it doesn't affect the boss at all. I'm not really sure what it does. It just has these weird shadow golden bricks everywhere that don't do anything. But I know it doesn't affect bosses, so you can just do the boss fight normally on Sphere 3, just kill the boss, and then you'll get a big old chunk of experience. Now let's talk about the big boy experience. This one quest line took me from level 25 to 30, and I still had quest steps left. So you can probably start this quest at level 23 and get to level 30 pretty easily. You do this quest by talking to the curator in the Undercoff expedition in Aurelian. Most of you probably already did this. So look in your quest steps in your quest log for the quest called the Book of Shadows. Basically, this quest is going to make you go inside of a dungeon with specific imbuments in order to spawn pages that you have to give back to the curator. So the first step is called Book of Shadow, so you need to load in the Codex Halls with a Shadow imbuement. The step after will be called the Book of Chaos, so you would have to load in the Codex Halls with a Chaos imbuement. Make sure you manually track this quest, so when you get inside of the dungeon, you can get the quest markers to tell you where to go and where to find the pages. Finishing the very first step of this quest, the Book of Shadow, allowed me to get 22.5k experience, and the experience just got more and more as the quest went on until I got to level 30 at 110k experience. For example, the Book of Chaos quest step got me 59.9k experience, which is the step right after the Book of Shadow. So as you can see, this quest line is quite ridiculous, and it got me from 25 to level 30 with steps still left over. Make sure you track the quest every time you turn it into the curator, because it will untrack. So every time you do it, retrack it so that way you know where to go. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment section below. And for more helpful Wayfinder videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. But as always, it's been your boy G, and I hope y'all have a dope ass day. Deuces.